conference, and also he gave many guest lectures. He also published n number of papers in the domain of mobile computing, networking, and soft computing in various journals and conferences. I welcome you, sir. Now I hand over the session to Dr. Narendran Rajagopalan, sir. Now I hand over the session to Dr. Narendran Rajagopalan, sir. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is my screen visible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good morning. I hope all of you are pretty safe and fine. This way of webinar is a new concept that has come up. I have been used to take sessions physically, by which I would be able to see faces and look at the reactions and try understanding. Now that that is no more, I expect that if you have any queries or concerns, you can please type it. I would be pretty happy to answer them. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. You are
Yeah.
audible.
So shall we go ahead with the presentation?
Yes, sir.
This is a novel, very interesting topic of blockchain. Uh, this is a part of networks and security. As a part of security, blockchain came into existence. It was first proposed by Satoshi Nakamoto. That's actually a fictitious name. Given by one of a researcher who was working upon a method of making things private. Now, if you look at the way most of the businesses or the banking work, if I am trying to transfer money to you, then I believe that the banking domain wouldn't cheat me, or I have something called as trust over the banking sector. The same applies to you. You tend to understand that if I have made a transfer and if you receive a transaction ID, then you make a assumption that okay, the money would be credited to my account. So this trust being conferred upon one entity is not is being challenged with the concept of blockchain. Okay, do we really need to do that? If you look at the net banking website, when we log in, how do we really ensure that it is a website from SBI or it is a website from a corresponding banking sector? We tend to have something called as a HTTPS, which again relies upon a certificate issuing agency such as VeriSign. VeriSign is an agency which will give a particular certificate to a banking domain. The banking agency would be paying a certain amount for annually to that that certificate issuing agency. When we try logging in, that certificate is being verified to check whether it is a genuine website or not. Even educated people can try reasoning it out this way, but there are quite a few malicious websites which actually come up posing similar to how SBI or any other banking website is, and they actually phishing. That's what is called as phishing concept, where they try taking your username and password, then apply the same username and password on the genuine website and do the transaction.
Sir, your presentation screen is not visible.
Yes, this is just a prologue before going on to the blockchain.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
So this is what actually happens as of now, and we tend to trust and rely upon certain agencies. One is called as the certificate issuing agency, or else a banking agency. Again, the banks and all are controlled by something called as a RBI, which is run by a nation. This is the way the finance works, where there is a way of trust. This concept of blockchain, which came up, challenged that trust concept itself. So we would look at what actually in this presentation, we'll look at what is blockchain, motivating factors for blockchain, what are the different types of blockchain, the consensus mechanisms, versions, the different applications for which you can apply them, a header format of Hyperledger, and trying to apply this on a application called as drug trafficking or drug tracking. This would be the outline of the presentation today. So as I told you, in olden days, what used to happen, we used to have a account book. We used to make notes on the account book and then give money to people. That moved on to becoming banks. In banks, we have something called as a passbook. We try putting money into the account, then we issue checks or we withdraw money, which is actually again logged in the passbook or else in the account, now digitally. As I told you, we are dependent upon a agency for the trust and managing of the funds. Can this be removed such that machines are able to do it? Machines don't have something called as ethics. They just work what is given. People have something called as ethics. So basically they can be faulted at times. So this concept of distributed ledger is what is called as a blockchain technology, which was introduced by Satoshi Nakamoto in the year 2005 around, in which we have about 100 people having 100 systems connected, and if they are able to enable blockchain, they would get something called as a Genesis block, which is the first block, which actually would be the basic initial balance in your account. Once you perform a transaction of either transfer or deposit, that is called as a transaction. When you perform a transaction, the timestamp when you performed it, a random pseudo-random number called as nonce, hash of the previous transaction if there is any, and a Merkle block. What actually is a Merkle root? We'll look at it. Along with the transaction is actually created as a block, then put onto a chain. Similarly, you keep on adding, where the previous hash tends to be the hash of the previous block. Merkle root tends to be the hash of the
Sir, your voice is not audible, sir. Participants, sorry for the inconvenience. Sir will join soon. Wait for the session. Thank you.
Hello.
Yes, sir. It's audible, sir.
Yeah, basically till which slide I was able, it was followed.
Sir, share your screen, sir.
Hello.
Yes,
Now
sir.
okay,
It's
sir. Yes, sir.
visible, sir.
Basically, from where all this was covered, was I
Yes,
audible?
sir. It's audible, sir.
Yes, sir, it's audible.
Okay. Were you able to follow this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so basically blockchain is a distributed ledger which is maintained by a network of computers or network of systems in which I don't need to really trust any agency. This concept doesn't allow even countries to interfere with, because of which it has revolutionized, and the concept of Bitcoin, which came up as a commercial tool for digital currency, has been so successful that many of them who invested into it became millionaires. So Genesis block happens to be the first block, followed by other blocks which contains the timestamp of the uh, transaction. Nonce is basically a pseudo random number generated. Previous hash is a value of the previous block being hashed, and Merkle root happens to be the hash of all the previous blocks altogether. When you do something like this, where there is interdependency between transactions in terms of blocks, it becomes pretty difficult for someone to forge it, or else non-repudiate a claim, which happens when you say you have done something and you say I have not done. Someone transfers me 10,000 and says that he did not transfer it. That is not pretty possible with blockchains. So how does it work? Transactions are proposed, blocks are created. Once block is created, should it be added to the blockchain? That is done with consensus. Once that is done, blocks are collectively and securely linked together. So if there is a transaction that is happening between Bob and Robert, that transaction is added to a block. Once that is added, the block is broadcasted to the network. There is a list of miners whoever are interested to work upon. There is something called as proof of work or proof of stake, or else proof of elapsed time, which we would look at as we go further. They perform specific operations. Whoever are able to perform that, they would actually mine and give it onto the other systems. The other systems will validate whether it's correct, then add it onto the blockchain. What are some of the advantages of blockchains? There is no need to depend on huge Hello. Yeah,
Yes, sir. Audible, sir.
people are not involved and systems are involved. It improves the degree of security, integrity, and privacy of data. What are the different types of blockchain? There is something called as public, private, and consortium based. Consortium or federated one is something which is in between the public and private. The Bitcoin or else Ethereum that we talk of are examples of public blockchain. Private blockchains are ones which are maintained by individual organizations such as IBM or else Google. These are some of the properties of public, private, and consortium based blockchains, in which public ones are permissionless, anyone can use it. Private ones, it can be used only with the permission of the owner. Network is decentralized when it comes to a public one. Decentralized in the sense there can be some systems which are in India, some systems which are in US, some systems which are in some other country, which can be part of the network. Whereas private, only those systems which belong to a particular firm like IBM or else Google would be part of the network to maintain the data. The same way, anyone can access a public blockchain, whereas a private blockchain can be accessed only with the owner entity. Set of nodes that control, in case of a federated or else a group based blockchain concept, they can allow only a set of firms to access it. In terms of speed, public is relatively slow, whereas private is faster, and the federated one is in between the public and private. Examples of public is, as I told you, hello.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Yeah. So basically, these are some of the consensus mechanisms: proof of work, proof of stake, delegated proof of stake, proof of elapsed time, proof of authority, proof of capacity, and proof of burn. These are some of the mechanisms by which a particular system is chosen or identified to decide on who would do the mining of a block. evolution of blockchains, first came the Bitcoin, which was blockchain 1.0. Then Ethereum and Hyperledger came. They formed the next generation of blockchain called as blockchain 2.0. Then we had IOTA, that is Internet of Things based blockchain, called as a blockchain 3.0. These are some of the comparisons of different versions of blockchain. In terms of speed, if you see, version 1 gives a speed of about 7 transactions per second, whereas version 2 gives 15 to 20 transactions per second. Version 3 increases as the number of nodes. So version 3 is much more scalable compared to version 1 and 2, which has been a considerable, remarkable improvement in terms of performance. The same way, if you look at the data structure that has been used, you can see that version 1 and version 2 used linked list, whereas version 3 used directed acyclic graph, DAG. A block validation time, the amount of time that is taken in order to add a block to a linked list, to a chain, blockchain. Version 1 takes about 10 minutes, whereas version 2 takes 14 to 15 seconds. And there is no concept of blocks at all in IOTA. So there has been a lot of research that has been happening in blockchain, and there has been a lot of changes that has come up within a very short span of about 15 years. What are the advantages of Hyperledger Fabric compared to Bitcoin or else Ethereum? If you look at in terms of security, yeah, all the three are equal. Integrity, yes. Privacy, if you see, Bitcoin and Ethereum may not be, but Hyperledger has privacy added to it, confidentiality added to it, and restricted visibility added to it. And there is no concept of mining too, which happens to make Hyperledger Fabric pretty more efficient and better than the other two previous versions. Hyperledger Fabric is actually proposed by the Linux Foundation as an open source permissioned distributed ledger system, which tends to support pluggable consensus, which means proof of work, proof of stake, proof of elapsed time, any of it you can use it based upon which one you want to do. This is an architecture of Hyperledger Fabric in which you have the application client application or else software development kit, which uses the ordering service to perform the ordering, and SDK also accesses the endorser.
Sir, excuse me, Narendran sir, your slides are not changed.
Slides are not changing?
Yes, sir, yes.
Architecture of Hyperledger Fabric has not come?
It's not shown. Only different consensus mechanism itself, it's shown.
Okay.
The previous slides only shown.
Okay. Now is it shown?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Now it's shown?
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Is visible,
Okay.
sir.
Visible.
Okay. So basically there is something called as an endorser and a committer. the committer tends to decide upon whether a particular transaction is supposed to be committed. When it commits, it adds the transaction to the ledger and the chain. Once that is done, the endorser says that yes, now you can proceed with. These are the transaction flow in Hyperledger Fabric. Endorsing peer, communicating with the client as well as to the ordering service. This is the structure of a block in a Hyperledger Fabric, which consists of the H2, which is the block header, as you could see. It contains a block number and the current block hash and a copy of hash from the previous block. D2 happens to be the set of transactions that are there, and M2 is the message digest. The transaction, as you could see, consists of all this. This is the transaction. H4 is the header, S4 is the signature, P4 the proposal, R4 a response, and E4 the endorsements. So what are the applications of blockchain? As I have already discussed initially, it finds very predominant application in the financial institution. Even in the educational sector, you can see its application in terms of certificates can be. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir. Audible, sir.
There is bit of disturbance, madam.
Yes, sir. I muted, sir.
Okay, thank you. Financial institutions have a predominant use of blockchain. Educational institutions can use blockchain to store the certificates of students, by which only the student can access it at any point of time. Healthcare can store the patient records using blockchain. Property ownership, now that this registration and all that is done, forged documents tend to come up with the real estate. If the properties are stored on blockchain, such forgery is not possible. Already Dubai and Qatar have implemented blockchain for real estate registration and property ownership. Digital contracts as well as public records can also be stored on blockchains. This is one of an interesting application of blockchain. That is, in the healthcare sector, there is something called as drug supply. The pharmaceutical industries are supposed to supply drugs to all other places. The drugs tend to lose their potency, that is, it cannot be used anymore if a particular temperature is not maintained for that drug even during the transit time. There is a lot of drug These are some of the motivating factors for use of blockchain, and also it will also help in tracking, monitoring, and optimizing the pharmaceutical usage. This has already been discussed. And the other application of blockchain is for Internet of Things. Looking ahead in time, the next evolution of networks, it is predicted that all these years we were looking at communication between people, for which we came up with TCP IP stack or else OSI model. Then we wanted moving people to communicate, for which mobile systems came up as the next level of evolution in communication. Going ahead, things would start speaking to one another, which is called as the Internet of Things. When you have things speaking to one another, we would also want the data or else the communication to be logged and maintained so that we are able to track them well. And this IOTA, which is a distributed ledger, which optimizes in terms of storage and performance, is being proposed for Internet of Things. The data structure that is proposed with IOTA is called as a tangle, which uses a directed acyclic graph to represent transactions and approvals. Transactions are represented with vertices and approvals are represented by edges. So end users tend to perform operations which are implicitly being logged with blockchain, which are being communicated with all the other participating entities. Blockchain will become a transparent technology which would drastically reduce cheating and improve security. So we looked at Bitcoin, Ethereum, Hyperledger, and IOTA as a introduction to blockchain, which can be applied on applications, predominantly medical applications such as biomedical, patient-driven interoperability, drug supply chain, or else remote patient monitoring. So going ahead with the conclusion, blockchain is a very promising domain and field of research that is rapidly being taken up. In about 5 years down the lane, it would become a transparent technology which people wouldn't even know that they are using, which would drastically revolutionize the way businesses and systems work. These are some of the references. I have been audible enough and clear enough so that you are able to follow. Were you able to follow?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Participant, if you have any queries.
Sir, one of the query from the participants, right? Ms. Mutlakshmi posted the query as, is there any research problem in case of integrating IoT and blockchain?
Yes, there are lot of research problems. A very easier and very common one that I would put forth is how many transactions of IoT you would join together as a block. Even on such small things, you can do a research. You can actually build an IoT system. You can build a blockchain system and see making the number of transactions into a block with different levels of uh, coarse grain or else fine grain uh, uh, modularity of the transactions. You can look at the performance of the blockchain system. Am I audible? Were you able to get what I told?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, another one question from the same guy. How blockchain can be used in supply chain management?
Again, see, in supply chain management, what happens is there are lot of intermediate people through which a particular uh, e- uh, consignment moves. We would have booked in Delhi. One person would have taken the consignment. He might again outsource it to someone in Maharashtra or else Madhya Pradesh, who would again outsource someone in Karnataka, and it reaches Tamil Nadu. But would, as a person, would I be able to know all this? By when it will reach me, I may not even know. If I am able to bring in something called as a blockchain, being integrated with IoT solution where there are sensors as the temperature maintainability or else through whom the consignment is moving. If I am able to track all this, it is going to be a revolutionary change in the way the supply chain management itself will work. It cannot work like how it works now, where uh, uh, someone takes from me and he outsource it to someone else. If he is outsourcing, then at least I will get to know about it. Am I clear? Does that address the question?
Yes,
Hello?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir, one more question from the participant. Which programming language will be suitable to develop blockchain?
Uh, See, developing blockchain is different from using it. In order to use it, you don't need to know languages. But yes, Python has certain packages which help you to create blockchains. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you,
eh,
sir.
Okay.
Any other queries from participants? Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving such an informative talk on blockchain. And you explained very well about the advantages, types, architecture, application, and the blockchain application in biomedical applications. Thank you so much, sir. We get lot of information from you for our research and teaching areas. Thank you, sir. Now I am happy to give a vote of thanks. I would like to thank our management for giving us an opportunity to conduct such a wonderful talk on blockchain application. And also, I thank our principal, vice principal, and head of the department and other faculty members to give us a support to arrange and give a nice talk on blockchain application. Last but not least, I thank all the participants for your patient listening. Thank you. And and also I thank Dr. Narendran Rajagopalan sir for giving such an informative talk on blockchain. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you,
Stay
sir.
safe and keep learning.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, personally.
Thank you, sir. Have a nice day. Bye.
Thank you,
Bye,
sir.
sir. Thank you.
I request all the participants to fill their feedbacks. The feedback link is posted in the chat box. I request all the participants to fill the feedback.